Hi guys, this is Peter Rodner again from the Mokdong branch. This is my C2 Memory Giga post vlog for Lesson 2, Logo Power. So just as a review, the project this week, students needed to get together and had to create a powerful logo which represented both their team as well as a positive student quality. Overall, the projects went really well. I was very happy with everything that all teams created. I'd like to just go over a few things that I implemented in my class in order to have an effective project. To begin with, I had two major concerns when starting the class. First, students wouldn't fully understand the purpose of their logo. Second, students weren't utilizing the expressions provided in the CSLP program. So here are a few things that I did in my class in order to help them through this. So to help my students understand their logo needed to represent a positive student quality, I focused on the ideate section in the program. So the first step, they do provide you with a few positive qualities, but then they ask students to think about other qualities on their own. So I felt students wouldn't be able to think of any ideas immediately, so to help them, I created a line of images which contrasted positive qualities with negative qualities, and then had a short discussion on what makes a good student or a bad student. I think this really helped my students, and they were able to think of other qualities immediately on what they might want to use in their project. So I definitely would do this again for my next time. So the second step, I decided that when students were asked to think of an image which represented the positive quality, I would include images which I thought represented them, and I would transmit them. My hopes were that they might use these images in their final project if they liked them. However, in the end, none of my students used any of those media cards that I sent. Instead, they decided that they would find their own images. And I think overall this was way better. For example, one of my favorite projects was the team who created a logo which was the Lamborghini. No way would I have thought of a Lamborghini to represent any positive student quality, but overall this team really did an excellent job of explaining why the Lamborghini was a positive student quality as well as represented their team. So next time, I probably wouldn't include my own images, but I would probably ask for more ideas or even have students share images of what they thought could represent those positive qualities. Students weren't utilizing the expressions provided in the CSLP in their final presentation. To help them with this, I was sure as a class before they got into their projects to review the expressions and explain to them how to use these effectively in their final presentation. So if you look at this week's expressions, they've actually already chosen the positive student quality. So therefore, a lot of my students had some difficulties understanding how to use these if they didn't choose good communication, equal contribution, or mutual respect. By reviewing these expressions and explaining to them how they can simply edit them, they were really able to understand this a lot easier. For example, if you look at groups cannot succeed without mutual respect, I explained to my students, just remove mutual respect and input whatever positive quality you have chosen, and therefore you will be using the expressions correctly. A lot of my students, once they understood that, had no problems utilizing two or more expressions in their final project.
Okay, so you also need to use those expressions, right? So does anybody helping you with those expressions? You might want to ask somebody. Okay, so guys, Rosa needs some help with those expressions and putting them in their script. Okay, good. So why don't you bring your chair over, come sit right here then, next to her.
So I was very happy with the level of projects and quality overall. I think given the fact that they're Memory Giga and this is only their second time in the 3.0 program, they did an excellent job. One thing I was really happy about were the way they work together in teams, and this is something that I've instilled and I've been trying to focus on in all my classes, that everyone needs to understand that this is a group project and therefore not just one person should be working on the script, there should be at least two, and then everyone else should be putting input. Overall, I think my classes are really understanding this and should hopefully pay off in the long run for better projects in the future. In addition, if I had the classes do one more time, I probably would do some modifications to the final project. I think having them make a logo to represent just the positive student quality as well as their team really isn't enough for the students to grasp onto. Instead, I would actually decide a specific company or product for them to represent. For example, you could have them remake the Cheongdam Learning logo and tell us how it represents a positive learning environment or a good English Hagwon. I think by giving them this direction, they might have a better grasp of the idea and the projects might be a little bit more effective. So I hope this vlog helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys next vlog.